Number 1. Mark Wahlberg, accused of attempting murder. He is a well-known actor who is noted for constantly playing the tough guy in his films. Before he became an actor and during his less well-known rap career, Mark Wahlberg was branded as a criminal. When he was barely 13 years old, he developed a cocaine addiction. He dropped out of school at 14, and he had a civil rights lawsuit brought against him for a racially motivated offense. Wahlberg was accused of yelling racial epithets and throwing rocks at African-American pupils on 2 consecutive occasions. Although he had already been afoul of the Boston Police Department at least 20 times, the worst was yet to come. At the age of 16, Wahlberg attacked a Vietnamese man in the middle of the street, beating him until he passed out. Later that day, he used a metal hook to strike another Asian man, leaving the victim with one eye that just doesn't work anymore, robbing him of his sight. The now actor was accused of trying to kill someone, but he simply admitted to assaulting. He received a 2-year prison sentence at the end of it, but he only spent 45 days in jail. Furthermore, Wahlberg then requested a complete pardon from the Massachusetts state government for his prior transgressions, but he never followed through. Number 2. Will Smith. He was accused of serious assault. We've all been charmed by the dynamic performances of this famous actor. Despite being a leading actor in Hollywood, he probably doesn't like discussing one particular topic. Will Smith and William Hendricks, a record promoter, got into a fight back in 1989 in Philadelphia. Hendricks was brutally beaten by the actor's security, who was instructed to do so by the actor. As a result, Hendricks' eye orbit was fractured, leaving him almost completely blind in one eye. Smith was found guilty of aggravated assault, criminal conspiracy, and reckless endangerment of another person. Even though the actor spent the night in a cell where other inmates kept waking him up for autographs, the charges were ultimately dropped. Smith, who continues to this day to assert his innocence, called it the worst night of his life and claimed in 2005 that Hendricks had been beaten up by a friend while he was only a witness. Sure, buddy, we believe you. Number 3. Matthew Broderick. He was accused of causing a fatal accident while driving recklessly. Our darling Matthew Broderick has a bloody scar from a sad period in history. While on vacation in Ireland in 1987, Broderick was traveling with his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Grey. The actor took a turn onto an incorrect lane by accident because they were supposed to travel on the left side of the road, and 2 people died as a result of this major collision that ensued with another vehicle. On impact, Anna Gallagher and her mother perished instantly, while Broderick and Grey were injured. The actor was facing a potential 5-year sentence after being accused of causing a fatal accident while just choosing to drive recklessly. But nothing of the actual sort happened. Broderick avoided jail time and he only had to pay a $175 fine for negligent driving. It's impossible to disagree with the victim's relatives when they label it as a travesty of justice. Downright disrespectful. I don't have the words for... you already know. I'll just move on. Number 4. Marilyn Manson. He got charged with criminal sexual conduct. Known for his bizarre behavior, Marilyn Manson was thought to have gone too far in 2001. The rock star allegedly put his head up against his naked crotch and spat on a security guard during a concert, leading to a misdemeanor allegation of disorderly conduct against him. Although the performer had a reputation for shocking his audience, forcing an unwilling participant to participate was a completely different thing. Manson was charged with criminal sexual behavior, as well as 1 count of assault and violence. The rocker could have received up to 2 years in prison for the felony, but instead he just received a $4,000 fine because they're above the law and we love them and they stimulate the economy, so we can't possibly afford to lock them up. Anyways, many of Manson's former partners and other women came forward in 2021 to claim that the rock star had mistreated them physically, sexually, and/or mentally. But he had always rejected the claims and he's not been charged with any crimes. Mel Gibson, number 5. He got a restraining order and he was arrested for driving under the influence. Mel, known as a well-known Hollywood actor, he also is well-known for his work as a screenwriter, a producer, actor, director, and an actor. However, because of his involvement in Mad Max and in directing Hacksaw Ridge, his name doesn't really come up often. Instead, we discover that the name of this celebrity is making news as a result of his contentious remarks, an arrest, and a restraining order. Gibson and Winona Ryder went to a party together in 1995, and throughout the conversation, Gibson made repeated allusion to the Nazi death camps, and questioned Ryder about her Jewish heritage. Later, additional remarks regarding the AIDS campaign were made. Only 10 years later, Gibson uttered sentiments along those lines after being arrested for DUI. He shouted anti-Semitic epithets towards the Jewish community while being arrested. Mel Gibson has been charged with domestic abuse by his former partner, Oksana Grigorieva, according to the general defamation of the quadruple threat. Although it's only an accusation, Oksana did issue a restraining order against the actor. Number 6. Mike Tyson. This man was charged with DUIs, drug use, and assaults. Mike Tyson, an elite boxer from Brooklyn, New York, is another athlete who turned to crime. Although Mike is best known for chewing off his opponent's ear during a boxing battle, he's accomplished a lot more than that. He was involved in stealing incidents as a child, like pickpocketing and robberies. Later, when Tyson was 25, Desiree Washington accused him of rape, criminal deviance, and detention. The attack on Desiree, a Miss Black America contestant, took place in a hotel room. The wrestler received a 10-year sentence, but he was released after just 3 years. It was at the time, reverting to old tendencies, that he chewed his opponent's ear off in 1997. Years later, he was once more accused of several assaults, connections to drugs, and DUIs. Number 7. Chris Brown. He was the accused of assaults on Rihanna, Drake, and other people as well. Chris Brown is one of the best-selling male artists in the world, yet he's got a history of illegal activity. The singer's most well-known transgression was with none other than Rihanna, a popular star and his girlfriend at the time. The two singers got into an argument in 2009 in which Chris claimed that Rihanna tried to kick him, which led to his striking her with a closed hand. He continued by saying that he still doesn't understand why he responded the way he did in 2017. But, that doesn't really hold up, at all, because Chris Brown has a massive history of assaults, which is another offense to add to his history of transgressions, or his record. One of these assaults in 2012 even featured Drake getting into a fight in a club, while another incident involved his security. Brown was charged with a hit and run the year after that. Brown was given probation and a jail sentence for these crimes. He didn't get away with them, thank God. The musician, however, repeatedly violated his probation, leading to a lengthened probation and community service requirements. Yay. Number 8. Robert Downey Jr. He was arrested for drug paraphernalia. Robert Downey Jr. has used drugs since he was a young little boy. He is best known for playing Iron Man in the Marvel Studios films. His father introduced him to marijuana when he was 6 years old. And that was just start of the protracted struggle with drug misuse that even landed them in jail at one point. Thanks to his father's reputation as a film director, RDJ was able to land several roles in programs and movies, blossoming into a rising star in Hollywood. That is, until he was caught with heroin and cocaine in his possession. Jr. was frequently detained, making travels to and from jail, and during one of the detentions, he might have received a year in prison. He did, however, make a turn for the better in 2003, and fortunately, he hasn't looked back since. Robert Downey Jr.'s career was given a fresh start when Mel Gibson, the first celebrity on the list, asked him to collaborate on his film, The Singing Detective. And that's about all the time we have for today, so if you enjoyed the content like this, then make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to make sure that you never miss an upload. Take care out there, and we'll see you later.